Hey y'all, it's your girl, the Real D Beats, and we're the Fluff Around and Find Out podcast. So yes, y'all, it's been a minute, about 2 months since we did this, and I want to start off with a bang, and we just chilling at home today. Y'all see me with my robe on. It's cold as hell here. It's like 29 degrees or something like that. But I ain't got time. I have to walk around in my robe during the winter. But y'all, we're gonna do a topic. I want to this topic is so important to me. So the topic we're gonna be doing today is I wanted to tell you, but I was scared. And this topic is so important because kids do go through things where they don't always want to tell their parents what they're going through because of many reasons. And being a kid isn't just fun. It can be confusing, overwhelming, and sometimes scary too. So in this topic, we're gonna talk about why kids are afraid to ask their parents questions or open up about what they're going through, and what both kids and parents can do to feel safer talking to each other. So I feel like this is a very important topic because I don't feel like I was able to, just freely go to my mom about things. I can now as an adult since I was like 18, but when I was a teenager, a preteen, a kid, like when I thought of things or I went through things, I was afraid because back then we grew up, you can't say certain stuff to your parents or they're gonna slap the shit out of you. Just plain and simple. Because if you did bring up certain stuff, they're gonna be like, you too fucking grown, or, things like that, So, but let's dive on in. This is Khalil, first time hearing about this topic. She always asks me before we do the podcast, what's the topic? You'll see once we start it. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this, Khalil. Be completely honest. This is no judge zone. When you're a kid, why does it feel hard to talk to parents sometimes?
Because I feel like y'all not going to understand certain things.
But that's a feeling. That's not like, that for sure. So do you feel like I don't understand things when you talk to me about stuff?
Certain things.
Give me an example.
I don't know.
How you gonna say certain things and you're talking about, I don't know? Okay. So I guess that could be one thing. They don't think you understand things, but that's kind of like prejudgment. That's kind of like setting the wrong expectation. So what we're gonna do, I don't know if it's because children are scared they're gonna get in trouble. I don't know, do kids worry parents won't understand? Do kids think, so you did just say that, so that's why I put this as one of the parts of the topic. She just said that, do kids worry parents won't understand? So your point is valid. Do kids think parents will overreact? Do kids feel embarrassed or confused? So I'm going to share some things about me first before we go too deep into the questions, just for her to kind of understand, for other kids to understand where a now parent was at a time when they were a kid. So a time where I was afraid to speak up as a child. I would say when I started dating, because I know my mama didn't allow me to have a boyfriend, so I was scared I was gonna get my ass whooped because I wasn't supposed to be dating. So that's the time I was scared to speak up. And I wish I would have spoken up because I think it would have saved me from a lot of things, especially like losing my virginity when I did. Because I feel like if I was able to talk to my parents or my mom at the time, instead of getting answers from my friends, it's pretty much like the blind leading the blind. I'm going to my friends for advice that already lost their virginity. Instead, I should have been going to my parent. Like, hey, I'm starting to get these feelings. You know, I like this boy. We're together, and you know, we talk about sexual things. Like, what should I do? You know, I feel like if I was able to do that and wasn't so scared to do that because I'm afraid I'm gonna get an ass whooping or something, I feel like that could have saved my virginity longer. I ain't saying I lost it so early, so don't y'all get that out of it, but I feel like I could have waited if I wasn't scared to speak up as a child. What I wish my parents would have said or done. I wish my dad was in the picture more, honestly, because I think that kind of like determined how I view boys and men growing up. So I do wish that was something that was done. I wish my mom then was more open. I think my mom was afraid because my mom had me at the age of 17. She was pregnant with me at 16. I think she was more afraid that I was going to follow her footsteps. So I think that's why she kind of kept me like shielded from being in that world. But it kind of shielded me from being able to talk to her like I wanted to back then. Because I just was afraid, you know? And the way silence sometimes felt safer than honesty. I felt like my silence was safer than honesty because I felt like if she didn't know, I wouldn't have to deal with the repercussions. You know, if she won't know, she won't find out. That's pretty much how I looked at it. And now today, as a parent, I feel like I don't want my kids to be silent. I want them to be able to voice how they feel, things they're going through, because I don't want them to have the same regrets I did. Now, I don't regret things now because I'm an adult and I am who I am today because of what I went through and what I experienced. But the me now looks back at the me then. I wish I would have had my honesty instead of just staying silent, honestly, because I feel like my silence caused me to go through a lot of traumas and pains. So let me ask you, what makes a parent feel safe to talk to?
Like what you mean?
What makes you feel safe to come talk to me about things? Well, let me ask you this. Do you feel safe to come talk to me about things like that, what I just discussed?
Some of the things.
Like? You could just name like one thing.
One thing.
Mm-hmm.
Going some.
Huh?
Going through something. I don't know. I can't even.
Going through something like, give an example.
Something personal.
Something personal, like when it comes to friendships, liking somebody, or
friendships.
Okay, what makes you shut down? What makes you feel like you can't come to me? Well, you already kind of said that. You said you feel like I wouldn't understand. How do you think parents can listen without making kids feel bad?
I don't know about being on your side. I don't know about being on their side. I don't know.
And see, being on your side, it's only good for a parent. When it comes to this type of thing and talking to your parent, you should never be afraid that your parent not going to be on your side. Because regardless, they're going to be in your corner whether you make the right choices or the wrong choices. It's more so about them trying to help you make the right decisions. Just because they try to, if they tell you a different route, doesn't mean that they're not on your side. They're just on the side of making sure you don't make a mistake. So that's one thing I can say. And what I would say to kids that's like watching this, if you're scared to talk to your parents, you're not wrong or bad. It doesn't make you a bad child because you're afraid. Never think that. Never think it. Because I thought I was a bad child because when I started my puberty, I started having thoughts like sexual thoughts. I felt like I was a bad child because I started like thinking about sexual things. I'm like, this is for adults. Why am I thinking like this? Why do I want to touch on my own body? Like, it got to the point where I wanted to touch on myself and make my body feel good. And me talking to boys more and getting that attention made me want to touch myself more. And I felt like I was a bad child because I was wanting that and doing that. When in reality, I should have just talked to my mom about it. But I was too afraid I was embarrassed. I felt embarrassed about it and felt like I was going to be judged. So sometimes grown-ups forget how big feelings feel when you're little. I can say that, like, a lot of parents feel like kids aren't entitled to having feelings, but in reality they are, you know? So I think that's another thing. And what I would say to parents, listening matters more than fixing. I'm going to say that again. Listening to your kids matter more than fixing.
I was trying to press on this so I could stop doing.
But I feel like, okay, so I do feel like this stuff is so important. Like, why do you think, what makes you feel like, how can I say this? Why do kids think parents will be mad at them? Like when they go to their parents with this type of stuff, like, oh, Mom, I'm starting to feel like I want to kiss, or Mom, like I want to kiss boys, or I want to kiss girls, or, you know, I like boys, or, you know. So what you think? Why do kids think parents will be mad?
Well, I don't know, cause I don't think you would be mad. I think, yeah.
So, have you talked about kissing?
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna ask it again. Have you talked? I'm gonna look at the camera and say,
No.
Have you thought about kissing?
No.
How when all your friends doing it?
That's just not me.
Yeah, but that's the attention that's the people you're around though. It's usually like a domino effect. It falls over.
Yeah, that's what they do.
But I want you to understand, you're not a bad child if you think about kissing.
I know that, but is nobody in that school I think about kissing.
I ain't talking about in school, I'm talking about in general. Do you think about kissing? Like when I was your age, I'll say, no, probably about 12. Yeah, you about to be 12. So about 12, 13, I started like, I was talking, I had a boyfriend. He went to another school. But the more and more we talked, we used to talk about baby names. Talk about we wasn't even having sex. But we used to come up with baby names. We used to come up with like we used to talk about kissing. We didn't have our first kiss until it was like in I think the 8th. Was it the 8th or the 7th? Probably the 7th or the 8th. That was my first kiss, but we always talked about kissing. And it used to give me butterflies.
I don't think about kissing nobody.
So you don't think about kissing nobody?
No.
So, do you think about other stuff?
No. No.
Do you get certain feelings?
No.
You answering these too fast for me. I feel like it's a lie somewhere in between.
No.
It's
no.
okay. I'm trying to let you know. This is what I'm trying to make you understand because I didn't have the outlet as a kid where I could just talk about this kind of stuff. I didn't have the guidance to be like, Mama, I'm wanting to kiss because I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get that outlet and you can actually come to somebody instead of your friends about it, you take advantage of that because it can save you from a lot of things. And that's why I want to have this topic because a lot of kids feel like they're being grown because they have these feelings.
But yeah, no, I don't be thinking about that because everybody in that school or in general, just homeboys, homegirls, nothing else. Everybody, I'm just friends. I'm friends with everybody.
Okay.
Except for certain people.
So I'll believe you. You say that, I'm gonna believe you. I'm not gonna try to force you. I'm gonna believe you. What happens when kids hold things in too long? Like, what do you feel like happens to kids when they don't talk to somebody and tell somebody the things they're going through?
Something bad gonna happen.
I feel like it's self-destruction. They're gonna explode, and then it's gonna be a situation where they're either embarrassed or they're not happy with the outcome. What would make it easier to talk?
I don't know.
You don't know nothing.
Cause I don't know how to answer these questions. I don't be knowing for real.
Why how you don't know how to answer? Really, you uncomfortable really, answering them,
like,
or
I don't really go through these things for real.
So do it make you? Okay, you can put yourself in your friend's foot in their. You can put yourself in their shoes and be like, how would this friend feel about this type of situation? It don't always have to be you. So what would you think? What do you think would make it easier for your friends to talk to their parents when they're going through things?
Well, one of my friends feel like it'll be easier to talk to her mom if her mom will listen. Because sometimes when she do tell her mom things, she feel like her mama don't listen to her. Her mama don't be understanding her and all this other stuff.
So her mom be yelling at her?
Huh?
Her mom be yelling at her?
No.
Or telling her to leave me alone, or?
Like, she feel like her mom not on her side.
Okay.
Or her mom would not be caring about the way she feel. That's why what's her name act how she act now.
Don't say no name.
I'm not.
You say that's you say they don't feel like how their parents what?
What did I say?
You like that's why she feel like how mama. That's how she feel like she feel now because her mama don't be
understanding her or listening to her.
Okay, so let's do this. You're a friend, or you're anybody's friend. As a kid, what's one thing you want parents to know when it comes to this type of situation. So tell them something you would want parents to know coming from a kid. Like, just put yourself in a kid's shoes that's going through something with their parent, where they can't talk to them, they can't be heard, or they're not comfortable enough to go into their parent. What's some advice you can give the parent?
I don't know.
My bad, y'all. My acid reflux showing up. Okay, so the advice I would give a parent is, again, I'm going to say it again, listening matters. Listen to your kids. You know, listen to them. Don't just feel like, oh, you too grown for me.
You know, I was going to say that, but I didn't know what else to say. I was going to say that.
Yeah, listening matters. Don't, you know, don't be so quick to judge. Stop judging your kids, because we were there before. We were there once before. Like, be an open book for them. Like, teach them what you had to learn. Instead of telling your children, been there, done that, tell them why you're saying it. Like, let them know what you've been and what you've done, you know, so that they can understand, like, oh, my mama, my daddy wasn't perfect. They're just like me. So that they're not looking like you're looking down on them. Make kids feel comfortable. You should be their safe haven. You should be their shelter. You should be the one they should be able to go to before they go to their friends, a counselor, a teacher, or anybody. So I'm going to say that again. Listening matters. So what's one thing you want kids to know? So like your friends or whoever that feel like they can't go to their parents, what advice do you want to give them?
Don't be afraid to go to your parents and tell them. Don't be afraid to go to your parents. I don't know. Don't be afraid to go to your parents and tell them things.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold. But yeah, don't be scared to talk to your parents. Like, you're not wrong or bad. Like I said earlier, you're not wrong or bad. Don't be afraid to go to your parents. Let them, and if you feel like your parents don't listen to you or understand you, let them know you're not being disrespectful because you're telling your parents, you know, they're not listening. That's not disrespectful. Help your parents understand you. Like, Mom, I'm not trying to disrespect you, but I don't feel like you're listening to me. I don't feel like you understand me. Tell them.
Ooh, why you closing it?
Let them understand. So I hope you took this advice, y'all, parents and children. You know, like, let's keep each other great. This, what generation y'all is? Y'all generation is X or Z? I'm millennials. I'm a millennial. I think y'all a generation, I don't know, y'all generation something, but this new generation that we got, they need us as parents, for real, y'all. Because the way the world going is terrible. These kids need us. That's why kids are so defiant. They're going to these schools. They're not listening. You know, let's be there for our kids. And that's where I'm going to leave it off to. If you have any questions or any comments, please comment down below. Y'all can inbox me on Facebook. My name is Denisha Elam on there. Hit me up on Snapchat. I think it's The Real D Beats. TikTok, The Real D Beats. Instagram, The Real D Beats. Like, this is important. This is definitely important. Even kids, if you feel like you can't go to your parents and you need some advice, come to me. I could be a mentor. I could be, you know, I'm an open book. So, I think that's how we're going to end it from here. You got any more words for anybody?
No.
Okay, well, y'all, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's your girl, The Real D Beats,
Callie Rue.
and we're the Fluff Around and Find Out podcast. Bye.